You're listening to The Foundation of Wellness, a refreshing take on diet and lifestyle. Join me, Marisa Moon, as we tackle modern health with innovative and ancient principles. I'm a certified primal health coach and intermittent fasting instructor at marisamoon.com. Hey, what's going on? It's me, Marisa, and I'm here to give you this concept that has really made an impact on my life, and I started using it in my coaching. And let me just start by saying why you need this episode. I'm giving you a peek at the experience I've had with this life-changing strategy called the 5-second rule. And this can help you stop overthinking everything and start making changes in your life to help you realize your goals and uncover confidence that you didn't even know you had. And it helps you overcome your fears and get totally motivated. It's so simple, it's stupid, as the creator says. But before we dive in, I want you to know I am participating in another virtual summit where I collabed with 20 different female professionals, all sharing their expert advice on fasting. This online series is called Fasting for Freedom. Overcome traditional eating patterns so you can ignite your life. And it all starts on March 2nd, 2020. So go ahead and register for this awesome female summit. And my link for registration is bit.ly/Marisa Moon. That's bit.ly/MARISA I'll have that link in the show notes, and it is case sensitive. I'm excited because I'll be presenting again on my topic about intermittent fasting's effects for mental energy and the ADHD brain. That's the reason I started fasting, was to help boost my brain energy, and I'm ready to share some of the concepts with you for only the second time ever, and it's kind of a big deal. In fact, Monday, like next week, I am going to get some electrodes stuck on my head in a psychologist's office to measure my brain activity and my ADHD symptoms before I break my fast and after I break my fast, because I want some hard data, and I'm totally going to share that with you when I find out more. So let's get back to today's topic. I decided to do this because we overthink everything, and anxiety is far too common, right? Everybody's got anxiety today. Because we have these big, intelligent brains, we just overthink everything. And it becomes a problem when you realize how much we overthink the small things happening or not happening every single day because our mind gets in the way. Like, should I go to the gym or skip it today? Should I eat this cupcake or should I stick to my diet? Should I get out of bed when my alarm goes off or should I hit the snooze button? This habit of overthinking contributes to so many people's anxiety, right? Like, why do we let our brain chatter constantly and stop us from doing things that are good for us? I've been using this strategy again, which is called the 5-second rule. It's coined by a famous life coach named Mel Robbins, somebody who I totally wish was my friend. Mel came up with this rule when she couldn't get herself out of bed in the morning during a really tough time in her life. I am telling you, she bears it all in her book, and I was impressed. Here's how the 5-second rule works. Anytime you have a split-second instinct to take action towards a goal, you count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you get up. You take action, or you blast off, as Mel likes to say. We have only about a 5-second window to stop our minds from overthinking things and to propel ourselves into action. Oh, and our minds will always choose the easy thing, like staying in bed, instead of choosing the hard thing. Like, your mind will always give you a million reasons why you should take the easy route. And you'll think to yourself, maybe next time when I'm more motivated, I'll do it. But the tricky thing is, motivation never comes without momentum. And that's what the 5-second rule gives us, momentum. The hardest part is starting. The rule works every single time as long as you use it and you actually take physical action and move right after you count to 1. So let's use the example of waking up in the morning without snoozing and just getting out of bed without scrolling on your phone or checking your email. This is how Mel first tested the 5-second rule, and this is how I started using the rule too. I think we can all admit that unless you're super excited about something, or there's a kid or a dog waking you up, you just want to like drag yourself out of bed. You're not excited or energized enough to get up like immediately. So we pick up all of these terrible habits like snoozing over and over and over, or watching YouTube videos to wake ourselves up, or check our email, things like that. But then once you're finally up and you're in the midst of your day, you think, why didn't I just get up a little earlier so I have more time to do X, Y, Z? Or maybe you start realizing, why do I watch YouTube or check my email? It just wastes time and it gets me so distracted from what's most important to me right now. Or why do I read the news when I'm lying in bed? It just puts me in a bad mood, right? That's exactly where I was when I first heard about the 5-second rule. I was frustrated that my mornings were like at a snail's pace, and I wasted so much time distracting myself from my priorities or from getting my butt out of the bed. So I listened as Mel explained something called sleep inertia, which makes so much sense. Let me tell you. It's this thing that happens in your brain when you hit the snooze button. Your brain is up, right? When the alarm goes off, your brain wakes up, you're jolted, maybe you're shocked, you're like, I don't even know where I am right now. And then your brain starts to go into the sleep cycles again when you hit the snooze button. I mean, there's like 5+ sleep cycles, okay? The brain is going through all these deeper and deeper stages of sleep. Every time you snooze, it thinks it's going to go through this cycle. It's called a cycle for a reason because it has a very specific sequence, and that's the direction it wants to go. So your brain, when you snooze, is lost in sleep inertia. And it takes anywhere up to 2 hours longer to wake up and give you optimal brain power. Man, does that suck, right? And boy, do I feel that. I mean, especially for anyone with ADHD like me, mornings can be very slow and groggy. That's just one of our characteristics. It can take hours before you're very alert or you're mentally sharp, and I always use that as my excuse. And this, by the way, is one of the reasons that I skip breakfast. Eating blunts our wakeful hormones and can make your energy dip lower, especially brain power. All right, so here we are. We're wishing we would just wake up on time without a fuss. And the 5-second rule is here to save the day. The moment your alarm goes off, you don't hit that snooze button. You count backwards in your head from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And after 1, you just get up. You put your feet on the floor and stand up. You blast off. Mel and I were the last 2 people on earth to think that this simple idea would work. Mel doesn't even call it simple. Actually, she calls it stupid. Stupid, stupid, she says. But after years of research and millions of testimonials, she's confirmed that there's some really powerful stuff here in this strategy. And it just plain works. It's one of the only things that you can do to stop your mental chatter from getting in your way and start taking action on things that really matter to you. Trust me, if it works for me and I can get out of bed on the first alarm, it will work for you. Mel says the only reason it won't work is if you don't physically move after you get to 1. And it also doesn't work if you count up. So don't try counting to 5. You got to count backwards. You can't count up because your brain will trick you and keep counting. After 5, it'll just keep going. So you have to count down and you have to take physical action after 1. Now, I didn't only use this to get out of bed, but that's what made me a big fan and that's what made me get the book. I also use it to work out sometimes. I should try and do that more, but I just used it the other day and I wanted to tell you about it because I was out playing with my dogs briefly, just boom, it's a nice day. Let me go ahead and toss the ball around real quick. And I saw my exercise shoes right next to the door. And I was like, and my kettlebell's there too. I'm just going to grab my kettlebell, put the shoes on. I was in my house slippers. Playing catch with the dog, like standing right outside the door, like lame. Sounds like I'm being active, but I'm not. So I saw the shoes, and normally I would come up with all these excuses why now is not a good time or I don't feel like it. But I just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, put the shoes on, grabbed the kettlebell, and I just did like 20 kettlebell swings and snatches and a few different things. Boom, I was done in 5 or 10 minutes, but my heart rate was really up, and I felt so good for just doing it and not hesitating. Another way that I used it recently, especially when I was listening to the book on Audible, I was compelled to start writing my book. I want to put my online program, Intermittent Fasting Freedom, into a book to make it more accessible to even more people. And I'm going to include some of my theories about fasting for ADHD. So it's a big project to undertake, but the 5-second rule helped me take action. Now, reading the book might be tempting, but I'm telling you, you want to get this one on Audible. I can't tell you enough how awesome her narration is. She's literally the best narrator ever. And sounds like she's talking to you, like she's your coach. I mean, you could tell she's like going off script. She's not reading exactly from the book, because sometimes she's hesitating, or she's saying, she's stuttering, or she's like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you. Or just this morning I was blah, blah, blah. And it's just the coolest experience. You've got to experience it on Audible. I thought I'd just play you a real short clip of Mel explaining how useful the 5-second rule is and what's standing in our way. So here you go.
You know, as I deconstructed the moment of change, I uncovered something fundamental about how you and I are wired, every one of us. Right before you're about to do something that feels difficult, scary, or uncertain, you know what you do? You hesitate. Hesitation, kiss of death. That's right, hesitation. A moment of hesitation is a kiss of death. You might just hesitate for a nanosecond. That's all it takes. That one small hesitation triggers a mental system that is designed, made to, engineered to stop you. And guess how fast it happens? That's right, 5 seconds. You've noticed this. Fear, self-doubt, it can take over your head and start making up excuses immediately. We all do it. We hold ourselves back in the smallest, mundane moments every single day, and it impacts everything. But here's the cool part. Hesitation, we all do it, right? We all stop, we all think, oh, I don't know. Look, if you are about to do something that is permanent, like a tattoo, hesitate for a second. If you're about to sign a contract or get married, do something that you can't, well, you can reverse a marriage and a contract, but you know what I mean. You're about to do something that requires thinking, hesitate all damn day. I don't care. I'm talking about the tiny stuff. Do you pick up the phone? Do you go to the gym? Do you say I love you? Do you return the text? Do you start writing in the book? All the things that could expand your life. Do you stop and hesitate on the little stuff? That's the habit we got to break. That's the habit that we need to get rid of. We got to build in you the habit of taking some kind of action, because when you become the kind of person that stops hesitating and starts making small moves forward, you're going to be astonished how fast your life changes.
I think she's right. I think we will be astonished with how much our lives change when we stop hesitating and we start taking action. You know, it's funny, when I first tried the 5-second rule, it was awesome. I did it with my sleep, like I told you, and then I tried it again with starting my book, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do it with everything. So I used the 5-second rule to call my husband and tell him not to do something. But that was an impulse. It wasn't an instinct, it was an impulse. And I shouldn't have done that, because it started an argument. He doesn't like being told what to do, you know what I mean? And I know that about him. So thinking in that case would have been wise. It's not like the 5-second rule was helping me towards a goal. It was selfish or egocentric of me to call and, impose my opinion on him. So be careful there when you are using the 5-second rule on an impulse versus something that will enrich your life, make you better. And it's really amazing that there is psychology to back this up. And someone named Julie Rotter came up with this concept in psychology called the locus of control. And that is, the more that you believe that you are in control of your own life, that you can control your future and your actions, then the happier and more successful you'll become. The locus of control. How interesting is that? And there's only one thing that's guaranteed to increase your personal feelings of control over your life. It's something called a bias towards action. You have to become the kind of person that stops thinking about everything and starts pushing yourself to take action. You need to take action to feel motivated. And that's when your feelings of control increase, all the while you're becoming happier and more successful. Refreshing, isn't it? And I can help you implement strategies like these. I do it all the time in my private coaching. Sometimes we need that extra bit of accountability or dedicated time to articulate our goals and just follow through on them. Or to just take a moment, stop and think about what really matters most to us, articulate it and come up with a plan. Or to catch your bad habits that cause a domino effect in your daily life just standing in the way of your progress again. You can make the changes in your life, and you will do it if you start doing something different. Go ahead and grab Mel's book, The 5-Second Rule, on Audible, remember. There's a link for you in the show notes there. And if you want me to coach you along the way, go ahead and set up your free strategy call at marisamoon.com/consultation. You can tell me your goals, where you need help, and what's standing in your way, and then we'll decide if coaching is right for you. Have an awesome day, and take action and let me know what comes of it. We can chat over in my Facebook group called The Foundation of Wellness, and you can find that at facebook.com/groups/FOW podcast. And if you like this podcast, if you like me, if you think that this show is providing you with some massive value, then can you leave a review on Apple Podcasts that helps people find our show? Or at least just share this show with someone else in your life. Teach them how to listen to podcasts. A lot of people still don't know. If you can help me build the listenership, I can just keep making podcast shows forever. And I would love to. Talk to you next week. Bye.